out here by the pool, reflecting about different missions I've done, different operations, different countries, different militaries. You know, these nice paradise moments. I'm present, but it makes me grateful about the past also. Mission Vigiparat. What is that? Anti-Terrorism domestic mission, interior of France. That's that picture on the thumbnail. Me and a couple homies. One from Hungary, one from Portuguese, but was also French. Man, good dudes. Now, what were we doing and where were we at? That was in Nice, along the French Riviera. Man, couldn't have had a better city to do it in. So, what is it? Well, interior of France. They have a lot of people don't know. Man, France, Europe in general, but definitely France with all the monuments and kind of political issues they have there. It's tumultuous. They have a very high security alert apparatus regarding terrorism. And they use the Legion and other units in France to patrol interior of France. Big cities, monuments, place of worship. And the Legion's part of that. So, every city in France all the time pretty much has legionnaires patrolling through the city. Now they were patrolling groups of 7 about, kind of split up into fire teams, you know, and it's not easy. You're patrolling around now. Depends what time of year it is. There's guys up in the northern cities during the winter. Man, it's cold. And you got guys in Paris and stuff, and you're navigating streets. You're driving around. You're not just patrolling on foot. Some of it is. But you're patrolling in cars and on foot. And, man, the navigation, you're out body armor on. You're strapped with mags. You got an HK on you, which isn't light. And you're walking all day a lot of times, depending upon who your sergeant is or your NCO for your group. But, man, you're putting out. They're in 2-month chunks. So, we had just gotten back from French Guiana, and we had some training and some other things, but we had a vacation. We had a couple months, and then where were we heading? Boom. They told us we're heading to Nice. Nice, baby, for our Vigiparat mission. The situation as it was, there was like an old kind of boutique hotel, for lack of a better word, not nice, you know, kind of broken down, pretty much an abandoned building that the French government had taken over and turned into a quasi satellite military barracks, little mini military base. It had gates in the front that was we manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where we parked all the vehicles and whatever. And we slept in these small, like, hotel rooms, split into, you know, we had 2 guys. They had meals prepared for us coming in, and so you're on shifts. So you're coming in, you're on shifts for cleaning, and then you're also on patrols every day. We had 6 days on, 1 day off. That's how our rotation was. So it's a lot of work, man. And also, a pretty badass location. We were patrolling on the beach in French Riviera, and people don't know, man, the chicks are topless out there, man. It's not bad. French Riviera is pretty cool, man, and they see you with the berets, and hey, what's going on? So there's some perks, man. There's some perks, and this was still early on in my period of evolution, so there was a Brazilian chick, you know, that had kind of eyed me. On one of my days off, I was chilling by the pool, and what do you know? So on my days off, I was kind of chilling with her a little bit. That was, you know, good times. So there were some positive memories. Now, I'm not saying, now, in my evolved state, would have been better. Work out, stay focused, because that's all just energy exchange. It's all just chasing pleasure, right? I still had some things to learn, but I'm telling a story, and so that's what it was, man. So it was good times, but tough. You're still dealing with the Legion, so you're still dealing with kind of that whole knee-jerk reaction to stuff, top down, kind of getting shit on. They had a little gym there, so it was not bad. We were there during the Cameroon holiday, which I had talked about Cameroon a little bit. So what do you know? Even with the Colonel and all them, they hired strippers, man, and they came in on Cameroon night. So, there was some fun to be had. Some guys went a little hardcore, and we had one of our sergeants butt-ass naked up on the stage, man, helicoptering. It was, it's the French Foreign Legion, man. It's rowdy, man. Dude ended up trying to hop into our room, trying to still get after it. Hopped over all the balconies, man. Almost killed himself. So, it's the French Foreign Legion. This isn't Boy Scouts. But during the days when we patrol, man, we would come across some interesting stuff. You'd come across pretty rowdy guys. Somebody threw a bottle at our car one time. We had to get out and rough them up. You're not welcomed by everybody, but the actual solid citizens of France and the tourists, they'd want to take pictures with you. We're not allowed to take pictures, but it was an amazing experience to be able to, man, just cruise and walk and get paid on the French Riviera, seeing the yachts and walking it by foot too, which, as a pedestrian, you see and you have a feel of the city in a much more intimate level. It was tough days. We were working at nights too, and so even as a kind of lower man on the totem pole at the time for me, I was pulling guard duty, man. So you're not sleeping all through the night. You're getting up at 2, 3 in the morning on a 2-hour guard on the gate pretty often. And on some of our days off, we'd chill. Guys would go left and right and, go down to the beach and whatever, because we were there kind of at the beginning of summertime. So it was a good mission. And another good one's up in Paris, obviously. Those guys, it's complicated up in Paris, but they do it all over. All the big cities, all the big monuments. Man, it's important. We were looking at a lot of the temples and the churches, right? Catholic churches, Jewish temples. It was all part of our mission set. It was a really good experience to patrol the streets of France, talk to the people of France, them thanking you, man, knowing you're a Legionnaire, knowing you're not from their country, but you're there with a gun, ready to get after it. We weren't policing, right? So it was actually kind of like around COVID-ish time. So we weren't policing. We're not there writing tickets. The Foreign Legionnaires, we're not there, right, telling guys not to get drunk or whatever. That's not our job. It's anti-terrorism. That is the job, and if some medical emergency arises. That's the whole job. So we're just cruising, man. The police, they handle what they handle, and we would handle, man, if anything fucking big popped off, man. Good stories. I got more stories about this Vichy Parat and some of those more interesting, nuanced missions that the French Foreign Legion does. Man, we got them on deck, man. Take those times, man, reflect. And people say, hey, stay present. It's important, man, to stay present. But, man, you can reflect back on the past and be happy, too. Right? Just because you're thinking in the past, reflecting on the past, man, doesn't mean it's negative. Often, if you've done shit right, it can be amazingly positive and just remind you where you came, where you are, and where you're going. Be smart. Out here.